For decades, the distance between Queen Elizabeth II and her beloved husband, Prince Philip, was a well-kept secret, hidden from the prying eyes of the royal family. Now, King Charles finally reveals why Prince Philip did not live with the Queen, shedding light on the mysterious reason behind the couple's living arrangements that separated them and led them to lead separate lives. The truth, unveiled after years of speculation, is a shocking story of hidden turmoil. Recent revelations about the living conditions of their parents have shed light on Prince Philip's decision to live separately from Queen Elizabeth, dispelling old rumors and confirming that he was not expelled from Buckingham Palace by the royal guard. According to Charles, this decision was made by mutual agreement and dictated by practical considerations, not personal disagreements. This arrangement allowed both parents to pursue their personal interests without the constraints imposed by royal obligations, underscoring the special nature of their relationship. Charles' reflections on his parents' connection provide a more nuanced understanding of their choice, showing that, based on mutual respect and understanding, their separate lives allowed them to appreciate the time they spent together during visits, increasing the anticipation and joy of reuniting. Charles emphasized that this unconventional situation was effective in maintaining harmony and affection in their marriage. A notable element of King Charles' revelations is the interaction between public duties and personal self-realization. He explained that the decision to live separately after Philip's retirement was pragmatic, balancing obligations and personal life. This arrangement allowed the Queen to fulfill her royal duties without worrying about Philip's health and well-being, which were managed more effectively at Wood Farm. Additionally, living separately gave Philip the opportunity to enjoy his retirement in a more peaceful and private setting, autonomy. Especially after Felipe's retirement in 2017, accusations surfaced about his involvement in an extramarital relationship. It was reported that the Queen and Felipe maintained mutual love and respect, despite the rumors and public attention. He emphasized that his parents' relationship was based on trust and mutual respect, which allowed them to handle the complexities of royal life and personal issues. The opinions of biographers and members of the royal family support Carlos's statements. According to an article in Woman magazine, Felipe's move was largely motivated by his discomfort in Buckingham Palace, and Queen Elizabeth supported him to provide greater comfort. Daily Mail suggests that Felipe found the palace too restrictive. These claims align with those of Carlos, who describes Felipe as someone seeking peace and simplicity. The Queen recognized the importance of Felipe's well-being and independence, as well as the priority of his comfort. This decision allowed her to focus on her royal duties without additional stress. They maintained regular contact. This non-traditional arrangement served as a pragmatic solution, demonstrating their adaptability and commitment to mutual well-being. Queen Elizabeth II's perspective on Felipe's decision to live separately underscores her deep understanding and constant support throughout their marriage. Elizabeth showed significant respect for Felipe's independence, recognizing the crucial importance of his well-being. Her support for Felipe's move to Wood Farm was an example of mutual respect and the solidity of their relationship. Additionally, Elizabeth's understanding of Felipe's needs reflects her deep understanding and support. Elizabeth supported his desire to lead a more peaceful life, acknowledging that after decades of selfless public service, Felipe deserved a retirement that suited his preferences. Highlights the depth of their bond. The fact that Elizabeth prioritized Philip's happiness, even at the expense of her physical closeness, exemplified her unwavering support despite the separation. The Queen and Philip maintained a strong connection through constant communication. Daily conversations allowed them to share their thoughts and experiences. These talks were very important for maintaining their bond. Regular calls and visits by the Queen to Wood Farm were cherished events, free from the constraints of royal duties. This allowed them to enjoy each other's company in a more relaxed atmosphere. The simplicity of Wood Farm served as an ideal backdrop for their time together, fostering quality interaction away from prying eyes. Elizabeth's view on Philip's move was based on practical considerations. She acknowledged that the official setting of Buckingham Palace did not promote the peaceful lifestyle that Philip desired. Wood Farm offered a more suitable environment for his needs. The Queen's unwavering support played a crucial role in this decision, reflecting her deep love and concern for Philip's well-being. Prince Philip's personal reasons, his dislike for Buckingham Palace, are well documented. The reality of the palace, characterized by its grandeur and formality, did not match the peaceful and serene lifestyle he sought. Philip's aversion to the palace played a decisive role in his decision to move to Wood Farm. He often compared Buckingham Palace to a hospital, criticizing its cold atmosphere and finding the environment stifling. For him, the palace felt more like a workplace than a home. This sentiment resonates with the revelations of King Charles, which shed light on Philip's motives for moving, reflecting his desire for tranquility. In an era that now seems almost legendary, the romantic story of Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II began. Born into the royal family of Greece and Denmark, Philip first met Elizabeth, the daughter of the Duke and Duchess of York, at a family wedding in 1934. This initial encounter was quite ordinary and did not foreshadow future greatness. Philip's desire for a more secluded and peaceful lifestyle was driven by the constant activity at Buckingham Palace, which did not provide a sense of tranquility. Although the palace's environment was befitting royal duties, it did not foster a serene way of life. The contrast between the palace and Wood Farm was striking. The latter was a much more suitable place. Philip's dissatisfaction was exacerbated by the omnipresent staff and the lack of privacy due to the perpetual bustle of Buckingham Palace. He found it difficult to find solitude, and this constant attention contributed to his discomfort, ultimately leading him to move to Wood Farm. In contrast, the modest size and secluded nature of Wood Farm offered a peaceful retreat. The simplicity of the place and the tranquil surroundings allowed Philip to enjoy his leisure time according to his personal preferences. The move to Wood Farm was an important decision for Prince Philip, as it provided a more suitable environment for his needs. This decision was not just a change of scenery but a carefully considered step that allowed him the independence that was becoming increasingly important to him. The cozy atmosphere of the cottage at Wood Farm offered him a unique combination of freedom and autonomy, allowing him to develop his own lifestyle. By moving to this more isolated environment, Philip could engage in activities free from the constraints and expectations typically associated with royal life. The choice to move was primarily a practical response to the growing discomfort he felt from public attention and the demands of royal functions. This allowed him to lead a more secluded life, where he could pursue his interests and hobbies without the constant attention associated with being a member of the royal family. In 1939, a subsequent meeting completely transformed their relationship at that moment. That deep connection which would emerge later was foreshadowed. That year, Elizabeth was a 13-year-old princess and Philip, an 18-year-old cadet from the naval school, already drew attention with his athletic figure and his shining blonde hair during a visit to the Royal Naval College in Dartmouth. Elizabeth was immediately charmed by Philip's charisma. For his part, Philip, who initially prioritized his naval ambitions, felt increasingly drawn to the elegant serenity of the young princess. This mutual interest led them to start writing to each other, which laid the foundation for a deep connection between them. Elizabeth's letters were full of admiration and the unmistakable essence of first love, indicating a relationship that transcended the social norms of their time, in which royal marriages were usually dictated by political considerations rather than sincere affection. Philip's valor and dedication in naval service were evident. In 1946, it became clear that their destinies were intertwined. Their engagement in July 1947 was celebrated with hope in a world full of conflicts and disorder. Philip renounced his Greek and Danish titles, adopted the surname Mountbatten, and became a British citizen, demonstrating his position alongside Elizabeth. Their wedding on the 20th of November, 1947 transcended a mere royal ceremony, becoming a symbol of renewal. This event, which combined tradition and modernity, was broadcast. The choice of Elizabeth and Philip, based on love and mutual respect, marked a significant departure from the purely dynastic marriages of previous generations, setting a new precedent for royal marriages. The royal couple's wedding, which became the longest-lasting royal marriage, not only united two people but was also a grand event that had a profound social impact and served as a powerful an emblem of stability and renewal following the Second World War. At the ceremony on November 20, 1947, high dignitaries from all over the world were present, including heads of state. At a critical moment in British history, Elizabeth's ascension to the throne in 1952, following the premature death of King George VI, marked a significant milestone. Philip, facing the need to transition from his role as a naval officer to being the Queen's consort, a position without a clear definition that demanded personal sacrifices, ultimately had to give up his naval career to support Elizabeth in her royal duties. Philip's legacy in public life, despite the limitations of his position, was notable. During their prolonged marriage, which lasted more than 7 decades, Elizabeth and Philip faced numerous challenges, both personal and public. They overcame all the difficulties of royal life, including the pressure of public attention, family relationships, and the changing role of the monarchy in an evolving world. However, their relationship was distinguished by a deep mutual respect and affection, evident to all who observed them. Their solid partnership became a source of inspiration for many, illustrating the strength of love and devotion in the face of adversity. Elizabeth's dress, created by the famous designer Norman Hartnell, was adorned with 10,000 carefully placed pearls, creating an impressive visual effect that reflected light effectively. The dress had an impressive train with a star pattern that flowed gracefully behind her as she walked down the aisle, symbolizing not only her royal status but also the hopes and dreams of a nation emerging from the shadows of war. Philip, dressed in his naval uniform, stood by her side, embodying the harmonious combination of tradition and modernity characteristic of their reign.